YouTube. Welcome to the Eugene Torto YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you're already subscribed, thanks for subscribing. And today I'm going to do another do-it-yourself project with this product here. It's Hot Jet ceramic header and manifold coating, polished aluminum look. I bought this stuff. I figured I'd give it a try. It wasn't really expensive, and I'm going to be coating not the headers, but the two pipes that run from my headers to the X pipe. And I'm going to coat them. I was really, the only reason I'm coating them is to help to reduce exhaust temperatures as it learns along the trans. I really never have any problems with the heat before, but I'm going to coat it anyway because I had these off. The reason I have them off is because of my blown transmission in my 90 Corvette. The trans is back in. There's just a few things I need to button up, and for more information on that, I'll leave a link up here. And for the Hot Jet coating website, I will leave a link in the description box below. And it doesn't say anything about reducing exhaust temperature on the website. That was my fault. I didn't realize that till after I bought it. But it does say it makes a nice aluminum coating, and I do have the stuff. I'll try it anyway, see if it does. Here's the description in the paperwork. A high heat coating containing aluminum powder and organic binder. This coating will air dry but can also be oven cured at a temperature of 400 up to 650 degrees Fahrenheit. It's ideal for headers and exhaust manifold. It also can be used on steering boxes, calipers, and any other parts where a polished aluminum look is desired. Okay, that being said, it doesn't say anything about reducing exhaust temperature, so that's my bad when I bought it. But I have the stuff. It's wasn't that expensive. You have to just go to the description down below. It'll have the price. I forgot what it is. It's somewhere in the $30-some range for the 8-ounce bottle, and they have a 4-ounce bottle for like 16 and change. But they say a 4-ounce bottle will coat a set of exhaust manifolds, and that an 8-ounce will cover a set of headers, I believe shorty headers. But since I'm not doing the headers, I'm just doing the those pipes. That should be plenty, 8 ounces. I got the 8 ounces just to be safe. Also recommend sandblasting. But it also says for, although other abrasive methods may be satisfactory. So I don't have a sandblaster. I'm not going to waste money and time sending them out to get them sandblasted. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all the rust and corrosion. I'll wipe it down with some lacquer thinner, and then I will follow the instructions about hitting it with a torch. I believe it says it on there. Yeah, it says on here, apply one coat, allow to cure 48 hours, or bake 400 degrees for 1 hour. It says degrease by means of high heat torch. So I'll go ahead and do that. Go ahead and sand the hell out of them. Sand the hell out of these, every nook and cranny that I can get to. And then I'll go ahead and wipe them down with a lacquer thinner, and then I'll go ahead and take a torch to them and degrease them via the torch. And hopefully that will work. But I'll put them on, and then like a year from now I'll give a review of them, and I'll probably hit them with my temperature gun, infrared temperature gun, to see if it does make any difference in temperature, which it doesn't claim that it does. But anyway, these are 304 stainless. The entire exhaust is from the headers back. I could just, for looks, I could just polish them up, but this is on a C4 Corvette. And like I said, I'll leave a link to that, the description of that, my 90 Corvette up here. And you can't see these under a C4 Corvette unless you crawl on your back, and then you're still going to have a hard time seeing them unless it's up on a lift or up on jack stands. So anyway, I'll go ahead and coat them and see how it does. And like I said, I'll get back in like a year from now and give a review of it. But if you want to see what happens a year from now, like I said, just subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then this way a year from now, that when the video comes up, it'll you'll have a review of the product and how it did. So here I go. I'm going to go ahead and start sanding these suckers down. Okay, the sanding process, as you can see, is coming along by this big pile of broken sanding discs from my belt sander there. These are a bunch of cheap belts I bought a long time ago, and as soon as they heat up, the glue comes undone and they break. But still got a lot of touching up to do. I'm going to do some chemical etching on it too, and then I'll go ahead and mask them off. I'm going to mask off this area here and here where the X-pipe slides on, because I plan on welding that. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and try and finish up. Anything that can go wrong has gone wrong. My good old Skil half-inch drill, hammer drill, is the gearbox went, so that's trash. I did get many years out of this. I say this is probably one of the best drills I had, up until the gearbox went, of course. But, oh well, I'll have to get another one, I guess. I do have a single-speed 3/8, cheap 3/8 drill out in the garage I can use. And, of course, I have this cordless, which ain't very good, actually, for this, but it does work. And, I actually found that my little vibrator sander here, Black & Decker vibrator sander. This thing is ancient. Actually helps does a pretty good job too. I haven't bothered to try my Harbor Freight multi-tool on it yet. I should probably give it a little touch with that just to see how it works. I got to change the blade to the sanding blades. And finish that up. I'll mask them off. I'll spray them. And then I'll stick them in my oven at 400 degrees for an hour, and while that's happening, I'll go outside to my garage, and really the only thing I need to do to that is finish putting on the upper intake manifold and a few nits and bits there. But the engine wiring harness is back in. I'll have a link there if I didn't do it earlier, and that's back in, and the header on the driver's side, which I took off, I needed to take off in order to get the transit in and out, is back on. So basically I just need to put that upper intake on, the exhaust back on, and I'll be ready to test out my trans rebuild. hopefully it'll go good. If it doesn't, I'm going to be really disappointed. But I'm just going to keep chugging along. Get back to you soon here. Okay, here they are. I coated them. In my haste, I forgot to mask off the one section, but that's no biggie. But it went on real nice and easy. One thing good about this product is it's water-based. I did this in a well-ventilated area, not here. I just brought them back in, hung them in front of my pellet stove so they'll air dry. Once they air dry, I will stick them in the oven for an hour at 400 degrees. That's another nice thing. If you stick them in your kitchen oven, they're water-based, so there's no fumes whatsoever. I ended up, it says put one coat on it, but one coat, the area, I'm working in my sub-cellar over there, which isn't very well lit, unfortunately, but it is cross-ventilated, and I don't have to worry about getting spray all over the house, so, all over the basement and the house. But, I ended up putting 2 coats on, because after I brought them in, I seen some of the stainless steel reflecting through. So anyway, here they are painted. Did get a few runs putting it on thick, but let it, like I said, let it air dry, and then we'll bring it up and put it in the oven. And like I said, a year from now I'll do a report on it. I gotta say, it won't be a fair report because it does say to media blast with aluminum oxide, and I don't have a sandblaster, and it isn't worth it for me to take the time and money to take them out and have them sandblasted. So we'll see how they turn out, and hopefully it'll be good. In the meantime, I guess I'll go out and after I get these in the oven, I'll go out and get working on the upper intake. Okay, I'm on to the upper intake manifold install. I already got had the lower base off, and I sealed put new gaskets on and resealed the china walls. Hopefully that stays because it was leaking from the rear. That's the only reason I took off the base. While I had the base off, I did port it out a little bit more, and basically, I need to install the upper intake, the throttle body, all the cables and associated wires, and then after that, get the exhaust on. I'll be able to test the trans out. Like I said, I'll leave a link up there to the what's going on with the trans if you missed it. And I'll leave a link somewhere up here with information about this vet in case you missed it. But I'm going to be using for the first time these Mr. Gasket intake TPI intake gasket set number 146. They have I'll leave a link down below in the description box to the Summit webpage where they sell these. They come in different sizes, and I need the larger size. I think they got, like, I think it's either 145. I don't have the website in front of me to look at right now, but the smaller number is the stock size. I can't use the stock TPI upper intake gaskets because these are AS&M large tube runners, and these are bigger than the stock runners, so you need the bigger gaskets to go with them. And these look like good quality gaskets. The only bad thing is the way they got them shrunk wrap on here makes them really difficult to get off, so I'm going to get to work on that. And see how that goes. Okay, the gaskets are out. One thing, if anyone's not familiar with TPI gaskets, here, let me see if I can line up the proper gasket for this. It should be this one. Okay, these are, see how they line up. They seem to line up pretty good. Their holes are a little off, but nothing bad. If anyone's not familiar with Tuneport gaskets, you're never supposed to use any type of cement on them, because if you do, when you go to take them apart, they will cause you all sorts of grief, guaranteed, because what will happen is they'll stick to these will stick to these tubes, and these side of the gasket will stick to the intake manifold or the plenum, and when you go to pull that all apart, it's going to make it really difficult, and you'll end up having to pry them apart, and it's very easy to damage these tubes, and you don't want to do that. Another thing is, all the gaskets that I've seen come with these little plastic tabs. You stick them in there like that, and in the holes, in the appropriate holes. They're pretty easy to figure out. And you pop them on like that, and that's what holds the gasket in place while you're putting them together. Same on the intake manifold base. There's this tabs on the lower ones. I hope you can see all this in this camera here. And but the plastic tabs go in these small holes, and I think these gaskets might take just a little bit of trimming, but I'll find out as I put them on. And as you can see, gaskets like I have a 90, which doesn't use the what they call the third start injector, and they don't, on a 90, the stock injectors, you don't have this tube on the one side. I believe it's that side, yeah, one of the sides, and I believe it's this side. And reason you don't have this tube, and this here, like you can see on here, this is blocked off. That's where the 9th injector would go. AS&M just makes them for the two different styles, and they'll fit both, but you have to block off that. That comes blocked off from AS&M, and this tube here, even though you don't need it, they just block it up with silicone. And I think if I had an aluminum welder and these weren't so nice, I'd cut that sucker off, in fact, and just fill them in and grind them smooth. But these come with this clear, this clear anodized coating on here, and they're real nice finish, so I ain't going to do anything like that. But they seem to be matching up fairly decent. You're getting a little tweaking, but I don't know. That's kind of expected, I guess. Anything aftermarket, I always have to tweak. I know some people talk about putting anti-seize on the gasket surfaces, so this way they don't stick. I don't like doing that. I don't think it would hurt it. I've heard of people having vacuum leak problems with the Tuneport the intake runners, but I have never had any. Not with these AS&Ms and not with the stock ones. Well, I guess I'll get to putting these on. Okay, here we are back in the basement, and here's the pipes. You can see where I shined them up a little bit, and I have to say they actually shines up pretty good. Now, one thing I can say is surface prep, like any type of applying any type of coating, paint or otherwise, is really important. You can see here where I didn't get good adhesion with the paint and it flaked off. This is the side that was in the oven on the rack, and a couple other spots too. But I don't blame the product, I blame myself. And of course, the way I applied it, I put it a little bit too thick. I got runs. But I'll tell you what, if you wanted to have a plain set of steel headers, and you wanted to do a coating on the cheap, this stuff looks like it would be worth it, as long as you're willing to put the time and effort into it. So if you say you got a $150 set of headers that are uncoated, get them sandblasted and then spend $30, $35, I think it is, on the hot jet. It's probably worth it. It's going to see how, this is going to be underneath the car, so these are going to get beat to hell. So a year from now, like I said, subscribe, hit the notification button, and a year from now I'll do a review on these. I hit them with the Meguiar's too. That actually seemed to dull it until I went back over it again with the steel wool. Steel wool seems to do the best job. I find it's best to do it with this. You actually got to scrub really hard, and you get a lot of white dust off it, and without it, and it doesn't go through it. So I have to say it seems like a pretty durable coating. The only thing is surface prep, and if I were doing headers, I think I'd spend a lot more time on the surface prep and doing a lot better job painting it, but that comes with experience like anything else. So hope everyone enjoys. I'm going to get these on the car and get the exhaust on. It's Sunday morning right now. I got to go out there and heat that garage up. It's about 30 degrees, I think, out there, and get the exhaust on, and hopefully next week I'll have a video on the how that trans worked out, whether it works or not. I'll post a video. So if you want to see how that transmission works out, down there is a subscribe button, and at the end of the video there should be a subscribe little picture of me when I was young, and where you can click on and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then next week you'll know what's going on with the whether my trans rebuild worked. It's the first time if you haven't been watching, it's the first time I'm rebuilding an automatic transmission, so it should be interesting. Everyone, God bless and have a good day.